Little girl began seeing her late grandfather, Robert, but her father, William, believed it was all just a fever-induced hallucination. Isa checked Lucy's temperature and confirmed that her fever still hadn't gone down. That night, Robert went into Lucy's room. She wrote while chatting with him, working on a story about God and herself, and he didn't leave until she fell asleep. The next day, Isa took Lucy to the hospital. The doctor tried to speak gently, but he told Isa with a serious face that the girl had pneumonia. After they returned home, Lucy refused to take her medicine because it tasted terrible. Robert laughed and said that William also refused syrup when he was a child. Lucy couldn't help but giggle, but when she told her father, William insisted she was imagining everything. Even so, with her grandfather's encouragement, Lucy began taking her medicine regularly. However, her condition didn't improve. Isa, worried sick, took her back to the hospital. The doctor explained that her illness had worsened and she needed to be hospitalized. Even in the hospital, Lucy still wanted to keep writing her story. She told her father she had dreamed again of a sad man. The comment unsettled William. The following day, on their way to a follow-up appointment, Lucy saw a prisoner in a wheelchair in the hallway. She insisted he was the man from her dream, but William simply comforted her and didn't think much of it. Still, he quietly asked a nurse and learned that the prisoner suffered from kidney failure and was serving a long sentence. Robert also came to the hospital, hoping to comfort his son. Lucy seemed to sense him, but she couldn't see him. The doctor warned them that Lucy's condition was critical and her life was in danger. Lucy's health worsened. At the same time, the prisoner, Edgar, was suffering as well. He looked at his family photos every day until a guard found them, mocked him, and tore the photos to pieces. Edgar stared at the fragments in despair. They had been the only thing keeping him going. That night, Lucy pretended to sleep until her father had drifted off. Then, together with Robert, she went to fulfill a promise. She slipped out of the room, but in the hallway, she ran into Bart, the janitor, who looked heartbroken because his wife had passed away. Lucy comforted him and promised to draw him a picture the next day. Then she went to Edgar's room. Robert rang the doorbell to distract the guard, and Lucy slipped inside. She told Edgar she wanted to be his friend. He was surprised and refused, insisting he didn't need friends. Lucy replied that she would come again tomorrow. Just then, a guard heard voices and walked in. Lucy quietly slipped out. The guard assumed Edgar had gone crazy, talking to himself. Yet Edgar's coldness began to thaw in the face of the girl's kindness. The next day, Lucy wrote a Christmas countdown on the board, but her condition suddenly worsened. Robert leaned helplessly against the wall. Meanwhile, in the hallway, Lucy and Edgar crossed paths again. She decided she wanted to be his friend and even suggested donating a kidney to him, simply because he resembled someone she had seen in a dream. William couldn't understand why Lucy wanted to befriend a criminal. That night, Lucy and her grandfather Robert sneaked out of the room again. She ran into Bart and gave him the drawing she had promised, a portrait of him and his late wife. Bart was deeply moved. While the guards were distracted, Lucy returned to Edgar's room. This time, he wasn't cold like before.